Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Ethan. Good morning, David. Good morning, Adam. How are you, buddy? Brad, good morning, Jeff. Marty, good morning. Matthew, good morning. Stephen, good morning. Futures trader, good morning. 3 minutes to the cash market open. Pretty lively day. And let's see here. Yeah, they have a 90% discount on Apex. If you guys did not realize that, they sent that email yesterday. So that's a big deal. Everybody's been waiting on that 90%. So they did something different today too, or this time around. The $250,000 account is uh, is the same price as the 50. So I end up getting. I never traded the $250,000 account. Be honest with you. So let me see here. Where is? So I end up getting four of them, and I may get some more. So I'm starting the day here. I may not mess around with them during the morning session. We'll see. But that's I got four of those, and we got the issue. The issue I'm having is I already have 18 accounts, 18 PA accounts. So I don't have. I can only add like two more. So we'll see what we got going on. One more thing. I made a request for. This is my second request in account 21 for 2750. So and that's pending for a payout, and we have that's this account. This one, we're at 7 grand in that account. All right, so that's how we're starting the day, and we got 1 minute to the cash market open. I may just buy more accounts and just gonna hold on to them. 90% is hard to come by. We had CPI that came in earlier. We have business inventories at the top of the hour. Beside that, really not much news coming up. We had the 200 and the 100 NT wrinkle are in sync on the long side. And here we go. Yeah, thank you, Adam. Appreciate it, brother. You're the man. You are the man. Let's do this, my friend. I don't know if did you end up buying the 250s or the 150s or which one? All right, so let's take a look here. We have Harmony Zone number one as support at 509 by 99. Harmony Zone number two is 84 by 74. Pullbacks are buyable unless we break below 75 this morning. Good morning, Vitality. Good morning. Good morning. We're getting a little bit of selling pressure. There's one important behavior that we need to be kind of conscious of. You see this 70 NT wrinkle captain set up short. Just to kind of put that in perspective, the market did that number right here, and look what they've done before. This is a long captain set up on the 70, and the market made a major move. And here we had a captain set up short, got tested, and the market reacted to it. So this is a distribution area between the 12 to the 40, and run-ups in that level can get serious resistance in them. Yeah, thank you, Marty. But that's the code, O Harmony. All right. So what's the objective here? What are we trying to do this early in the game? I want to see if that 30 to the 50 holds up, and if it does, then we have downward potential in this market. Right now, the 200 and the 100 NT wrinkle are in sync on the long side, and the market is just oscillating around this channel right here. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prong captain setup on the 50 NT wrinkle. Wow. Yeah, we may get a push. It's a captain setup short on the 20 NT Rinko ES has a one candle reversal. We may get a little bit of a down drift here. 2, 3, 4, 4. Below 11 half. Bam. See that's a captain setup short right there. A retest of it, a push. I'm patient this morning. I want to see. I want to see more of this price action before I put in my first trade. See, any attempt at the 84.74, that will be the second attempt at that level. Sheila, good morning. That's a potential railroad short if they close this candle. We're going to have to see what this market is all about. 13 and 23 are areas where the market has the potential of fading. So we hit 13 and we're seeing that fade coming in pretty quickly too. So that tells me there's a little bit of distribution going on here. Yeah, look at that. That's over 10 points in matter of seconds. So let's go back to a couple of charts that are critical to our understanding of the morning. We have a captain set up short on the 70 NT Runko. It got tested in the middle of that range, and they're fighting it off right here in this candle. So as long as this candle does not break 24 and a quarter, there's a good potential that this candle is going to continue and we hit the 80s, 480s, and the 450s. Okay, then at the same time we have this little junk, which is the 50 NT Runko chart, and here you're getting a 6-prong captain set up long that went up and retested. So you have distribution here, you have accumulation here, and the market is in this little range that they're fighting. See that? Okay, so now that puts the shorts in a defense mode, and it's the distribution patterns up here are too big for me to start to go to look into a breakout. Okay, and it's too early in the morning for me to think in those terms at this point. So I'm gonna give the market a little bit more time. What would be actionable if we get down to 98? And if we get to 98, I'm gonna look for a short opportunity, because at that point I would have a signal and a second captain setup short signal, and then this pattern is going to be breaking as well. So if the market happens to do this, then I will participate, but we have to get to 98 first, rally back up, give me a signal, and I'll just participate at that point. Now, is there a probability for a push higher? Yeah, there is. But I don't want to go against this captain setup, so I'm gonna hold off and just kind of wait. Okay, I may be missing a long, but that's fine with me. It's like it's too early to short and too congested to go long, and the market most likely is just gonna toss around a little bit here. So let's assume here we go. I mean, they put a captain setup short on the 20 NT Rinko with a stop right at 24. And nothing wrong with going short. Yeah, I already have four of them, Matthew. So I'm gonna probably add some more because that's gonna give you $6,500 worth of risk capital, which is decent amount. I have a $150,000 account, and I really like it because and I got paid on it twice. I'm about to get paid on it twice. Uh, it gives you enough room to kind of navigate and maneuver. Okay, so captain setup switch trade. We should see a push toward the whole number, 500. Then 98 is a good possibility here. Have I ever traded 27 contracts, Eric? Yeah, I have. I had traded a lot more than that. 2098. Here we go. It's golly, look at that. See that? That's the double captain setup. That double captain setup. This is a technical damage in the market, and we talked about the 98 being critical. You get a captain setup short, another captain setup short, and you broke this formation. Rallies are shortable, and this can turn itself into a break that takes us to 459.75. It's just we have to find an entry point, and the stop to this rotation is two places, multiple places. Conservative one is 14. You got 24, and you got the 48. Yeah, I see that. That's good stuff right here. That's good stuff right here. That is some good stuff. So there, you could tell that there's pressure building in. Now, the market is out of sync. 200 and 100 are out of sync with the switch trade rallies, or they have a lot of distribution patterns above us that is gonna, you know, it has the capacity to really push us lower. and we have extended ourselves so much that a break into 459 will lead to a break back down to Globex, which is 409.75. And if that happens, we got, you know, prices that can take us to 328. So kind of that's the read so far. So in Eric, in those $250,000 accounts, you have to make 15 grand, and also you have to um, once you get it to a PA, you got to make 6,500, I think, 6,600, which is really cool because now it gives you a lot of room. So you have 6 grand. These are Ninja Rinko candles. They are not time, they are range bars. They're Rinko bars. Okay, so let's keep reading this market. So we're hitting this level here multiple times. We're looking for rallies to short into. It's 849.50. That's 20 minutes. 20 minutes into the cash market open. We have Harmony Wave establishing itself and a railroad short at 92, and that's a push. Push lower. I'm telling you, this thing is gonna just tank. It's gonna tank. Yeah. It's not far away from $150,000 account, but I just like the price. Okay, so let's see. That's right here. Boom. You see this? Now the market is in sync on the short side. Rallies are shortable on a swing trade basis. On a swing, and we saw this earlier. I mean, that's really, be honest with you, an environment where I should have kind of gotten really aggressive, because you got a double captain setup on the 70 NT Rinko and a failure of this captain setup right here. So that just the distribution in the whole area that was very kind of clear and obvious. So right now we're at the top end of the Globex band, and the expectation here is to see a push and a little bit of protection price action, a little bit of protection. So now our target on a swing trade basis is going to be 834. Okay, then after that it's going to be the 409. So just kind of be conscious of that. I mean, I'm going to put an order out there right here and an order right here. I'm trying to manage myself for a bigger target if I can. I mean, the 52s to the 46s is good. Um, I mean, I may get the 52s here. I mean, they're bouncing this price around. I got multiple times where I could make a 10 point. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too greedy here. Yeah, that's... Yeah, here we go. Come on, baby, let's go. Let's see if we can get 47. Yeah, I think I'm getting a bit too greedy. Yeah, a lot of distribution going on even at this level, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think we can get to 35. Yeah, they're gonna run it up a little bit, so I have to kind of take a little bit of have to take a little bit of risk. I have to take a little bit of risk. Here we go. So I have to go to, here I go, 84. ES is bouncing between harmony zone number 1 and 2. Yeah, of course, right? Okay, okay, okay. Shut the fuck up. Here we go. Okay. All right, we're hitting harmony zone number 1. I have 1 here. Let's see how well we do. Oh, they're gonna get me today. Let's see, they're not gonna get me. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to keep it at 4 contracts for now. Yeah, that should get us downward pressure. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, they're gonna get me on this. All right, so let's see here. I mean, I have my stop at 37, but that's gonna hurt if we get up there. Let's see here. Look, I don't want to lose 5 grand on this trade. But that's what that would mean if it gets up to that 37 and a quarter. I mean, there's no follow through on the short side, or the retracement back up are just so big. I mean, I have one more ad in me, and that's it right here. Yeah, that's funny. Man, I tell you, swing trading this market is something else. So I got this going on here. Captain set up short here, another captain set up short here. This should test and come back down to the 94, then the 80s, and then come back to 52 and break into the 400. And my risk is up there to the 47, 37 and 47 actually. So 37 is here. But to be honest with you, if we get to 37, we're going to get to 47. And I got in early in that move, hoping to see a continuation trade, and we got what we got. So we'll see. Hey DJ, good morning. I mean, here we go, harmony zone number 2, and they're just struggling, trying to get through it. They're really struggling. Here you go. Let's go, let's go. See, a funny thing, I was short here. I had like 10 points 2, 3 times out of that trade, and I was okay. So looking at it from this perspective, we're extended, super extended in price action. We got one candle reversal. Typically, you get 1 or 2 in that direction, with a swing trade stop right above the close of that candle. So any trade up here has a great potential of getting to 409 and lower. Yeah, and we'll see. We shall see, we shall see. I mean, my target is 435, then under that is going to 409. We have a captain set up short on the 30 NT Rinko with a stop above 21. So there's some distribution going on here, which is a good thing to see. I mean, I had to take a risk. I mean, I don't like, being down this much in any trade, to be honest with you, but these swing trades, you have to look at it from a bigger perspective. I mean, if it's a scalp, then I understand, but I started it with the idea of a swing trade. So if I take a stop up here, I'm resigning myself to it. That doesn't mean I like it, but yeah, lately I've been doing very well scalping, and whenever I tip my toe in a swing trade, I get hammered. So we'll see. The stop is where the stop is at. Ain't gonna move, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Oh, they're coming for me. They're coming for me. Good for them. Good for them. Good for them. Good for them. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Take all my money. I mean, like right here, I've I have one more contract to add, and that's about it. Right ahead of the stop. I mean, I actually could add a lot here. Captain set up short. If they put a captain set up short here, I'm gonna add some more. My stop is where it's at, so either they're gonna come to 37 and a quarter and take me out, or this will be the stopping point for price action. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Really. Really, really, really. Thank you. That sucks. All right. Just going to take a 5-minute break and I'll be back and we will go back to scalping since that seems to be doing a lot better than trying to swing trade this mess. All right. I'll be back. All right, we're back. So we got a 200 and 100 that's in sync on the long side, and system is showing a 559.75 target. Harmony zone number one is 509 by 499 and 84 by 74. Pullbacks are viable. Let's see how far this is gonna go. All right, so let's see here. So that one cost me 46.75 and definitely dropped us from our equity high. And this is the equity chart. We're up here. Now we're basically back to 428 or 428, 429 equity. So we give back about 2 weeks worth of trading profits on that little shindig. So what do I need to do here is kind of pause on trying to go big on swing trades, because that's the consequences of it sometimes. Sometimes when it works, I'll be up 3, 4, 5 grand. We had this day here where we were up 5 grand, 5,200, but at the same time, you try to swing trade and the market reverse, you're going to take a day like that. So we're back to equity of 428, and we're going to start scalping this market and look for good decisions. And that's the best I could do, just make good decisions. So right now what I'm seeing here is we came to the middle of the range and the market held on to that middle of the range. And we're looking for a channel number 1. The big target is 559. 559.75. The dash bold. That's just a target from the Harmony trading system, and you get 6 of them. Man, at these prices, you would think a little bit of retracement, but the market is very strong. And we're looking for a rally pullbacks as a buying opportunity. Let's see if they get up there. 68. Yeah, here you go. Boom. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Adam. It's a lot. It's a lot better to do it that way. It's cheaper. It looks like we're gonna get head a little bit north. All right, so we got another target up there, target number 6, which is 623. No, no. Excuse me, target number 5. That's target number 5, not 6. It's 581 and a quarter. And then we have the swing trade target of 584. And then we have a target of 623. All these are targets ahead of that long. And 623. They are going, going, going. Yeah, yeah. I saw the new rules on DCA. Yeah, I read through those rules multiple times just to know that I understand them. But I feel like all these rules were there before. Like really, truly, there's nothing different. All what they're saying is they're gonna start enforcing them. The one that I'm a little bit not clear on is DCA. I mean, how do you define a losing trade based on a DCA? Like you could trade in a range and accumulate a position for a move. So if you get into a trade and add to it within this range right here for a move lower, let's assume short, how do you call that not, proper trading? I think what they're trying to do is prevent people that don't have a system that basically will come into the market and just go, for example, I mean, you're long here. You add every 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. You keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding till you become in the profit, and then you take a small profit and you move on, and you do it for 3 4 times. You get to your payout level, and then you go micro and start trading to mark 10 days. So that, in their opinion, is gaming the system versus having a trading system that's consistent and trades in a proper way. Now, if I come in here and I trade between harmony zone number 1 and 2, and I add as the price goes, runs up, obviously I'm going to add into a trade that's going against me slightly. Would that negate the account or stops them from paying me out? If it's part of my day-to-day trading and I can prove that I'm consistent doing that with good risk controls, I don't think so. Okay, but it definitely leaves us questioning, what exactly would they, I mean, it's giving them a little bit of room to interpret, right? um, Even you almost have to kind of read between the lines a little bit and understand what they're trying to do and not trying to do. Yeah, I think be honest with you, I think you will be able to do that. But what they're trying to do, yeah. So if you have a pattern, like I said, of maxing out your leverage, for example, right? And averaging in any moves that's going against you, and maxing out your leverage just to get to a break even or plus money and a little bit of money, and then you take it. Okay, and you keep doing it and doing it, and you have a lot of blown out PAs, right? Then that behavior is consistent with somebody that not necessarily trading a system. He's just arbitrarily going across the range and just, going long, 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 long till it pays, and he maxes out his leverage. And if it doesn't work out, he blows up the account and he moves on to the next account and the next account and the next account. So I think that's the behavior they're trying to stop. But guess what? It's not clear because like you said, it leaves it to their discretion to determine which one you are. I mean, if you short into a 40-50 point range and you accumulate 2 contracts, does that disqualify you? Yeah, that's what a lot of people are concerned about. And I think, looking at the disclaimer that not the disclaimer, like when you're trying to push on a payout, it makes you read and check that box. And then you have to, I read through it multiple times. And then I went to the FAQs on the website, and I read the same thing. Then I went over the 2 videos that they have, and I saw them again. And I feel like it's been consistent throughout the period. They don't want people to not have a system and just trade arbitrarily. The DCA, they had that wording before. It seems like they're gonna enforce it a little bit closer now, and it leaves room for them to interpret if you're abusing that rule or not. So I guess, like you said, you may come back in a month or so and see if your payout is approved or not. Evaluations, evals, I think they are. I mean, give me a break. Now you have a $250,000 account, and you're trading 27 contracts, and you can get to a PA within a day. I'm sorry, you're taking a whole lot of risk. You're taking a whole lot of risk. You're going all in. I'm sorry if that's what you're trying to do. You're going all in all day, and I think they're not watching that as closely. Once you pass that account, it becomes a PA. Then these other rules are going to be watched a lot closer. Like if you're trading the news. Okay, so when they talk about trading the news, what does that mean? That your strategy, all of it, is simply wait for the news to come, like a 9 o'clock news or FOMC meeting news, and a minute before that news comes in, you're putting a bracket. Okay, so that's one strategy, or even directional. Say I'm gonna go long. Okay, and then if it blows up and you lose the account, well, no big deal. You try it again, and till you end up hitting one trade that makes you 10 grand, 15 grand, then you micro or flip contracts and act like you're trading throughout the rest of the days till you get to payout, and then request a payout. So now that's a consistent behavior, right? It is a consistent behavior of you looking at the news as your trading strategy and not trading throughout the day and show an edge. So in their opinion, again, you're gaming the system. You're putting a bracket because you don't know the direction, and hopefully one of them work out. So that's they're gonna look at that closer now, and if they see somebody who his whole shtick is doing that, they may warn you and they may stop you, and if you keep doing it, it may suspend you. That's another thing. I mean, why does it have to be a physical stop? It can be a mental stop. Uh, it can be a level stop. As long as you show a consistent behavior of managing risk, then you don't have to physically put a stop in. It does. It does. I mean, let's not. It does. That's where the revenue is coming from, right? There's a lot of traders out there that literally are setting shop trying to game the system. And I think that's where they're trying to tightening up on to kind of prevent that from happening. Um, and they're giving themselves the liberty to interpret what is abuse and what's not. Yeah, I mean, if and they showed example in the videos, and I think everybody needs to go back to these videos and watch them so they can understand clearly the intent behind the policy. Okay, like there's traders that literally day one they max out their contracts and they go and that's a PA. We're not talking about anything that is an eval. I think there's a lot of liberty in what you can do. Okay, so once you get to a PA, now it's real money, and now there's a the issue of are you following a certain rules or not. So we're talking PAs. So there's some traders out there that will just go max out contracts and go all in, and they're up 20 grand. And they tried that 5 times, failed 4, one of them worked. Now, after that event, what do? They go in and they mark 10 days by trading small, trading range, just taking small stops and whatever. And then they ask for a payout. Okay. So that's not that is gaming the system, right? So they're saying we don't want that behavior in our shop. If you do it, we're not paying you. Okay. So I haven't heard of anybody that got denied, but I'm sure a lot of people out there that got denied that did exactly that same thing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have talked about it. So that's a behavior that they're concerned about. Okay. So if you're sitting here and you show 500, 300 trades, 400 trades over a month or 2 months, and you, traded, managed your risk, got in, got out, took your stops, but you got heavy one day and you made, bunch of money. I don't think that's what they are concerned about. They're concerned about the people who are literally they have one plan, and that plan is run through as many PAs as possible to get to a payout and request it. Okay, and yes, they make money, but look at the logic also. Let's assume everybody, because they have over 10,000 traders in the system, and everybody just does that. Then there is, that they're going to hemorrhage money. they're gonna hemorrhage money, and they're trying to stop hemorrhaging money. I mean, people are out there are getting worked up and saying, "Oh, they're about to get out of business," and all that stuff. I don't think so. They're just trying to manage risk within their firm, and they're leaving themselves the opportunity to or the flexibility to determine what's a violation or not, and that concerns me. Okay, because sometimes I add in a position, and sometimes the position is going against me, and I add into it. Okay, does that automatically makes me violating? Because the wording in that document says if you do DCA of any kind, then that disqualifies the account. You know, yeah, I don't necessarily like that, but I think I need to read into it a little bit further or closer and say, okay, well, am I managing risk? Am I managing my size? I am never 100% of my leverage at all, ever. Okay, so then if I'm managing I don't have to put a stop in the market. Like literally, you should, but you don't have to as long as you're managing risk. Like you show a pattern of managing risk. Okay. So I think everybody, and I mean, social media is all up in an uproar out there. They're talking about, oh, we're getting screwed. Apex is not gonna pay nobody. They're losing money. They're gonna be out of business. All this nonsense. It just actually you want them to do this kind of stuff because that means that they are conscious of risk and they're managing risk on their end, and they're going to be a sustainable company. Other companies that may not manage risk like that may not be in business. Well, Adam, I agree with you 100%. In an evaluation account, you cannot pass a 270. If they're giving you the 1 day option of passing, that means they are comfortable with you pushing to pass it. So you become a PA. Okay? So that's one thing. Second, I think there's a lot more flexibility in a PA in an evaluation account than in a PA. Okay? So your all in 27 accounts, I mean 27 contracts, you most likely added to them in a range, and in not every ad that you do, you ended up being, you were positive when it happens. Sometimes the market dips against you. Like nobody gets into a trade, for God's sake, and immediately and completely the market just works in their favor. Like when does that ever happen for a trader? Any of us, right? Like there's some signals where, okay, switch trade, captain set up, your risk is there, but immediately, a lot of times, right when you get in there, I mean, you're getting a little bit of a drawdown. I mean, so I don't think that's the intent. If it pulls back against you and you add to it, that's that's I think is understandable as long as you don't have a pattern of behavior of maxing your, okay, DCA, maxing your number of contracts and adding all through a huge range. And if it blows the account, you just, you have a pipeline of evaluations that are about to pass, and you're just moving on to the next one and doing the same exact thing till you start hitting payouts. That is, it's almost like an assembly line of trading accounts and not trading the market, and you're gaming the system. Okay, I don't want to call out names. I really don't want to, but when I was reading through it, I thought about Alpine. because that's literally kind of what he does, and he's been very successful at making money doing it. And I'm wondering if he's going to be able to do the same thing that he was doing before, with the emphasis, Apex has on that specific style of trading. They're saying, hey, listen, if you have a morning trade where you put a buy stop and a sell stop in a bracket, and your guess, you don't really care where the market is going. You're pretty much just whatever, and then you're taking a small profit with the stop being the account. That's literally what he does. So that's like literally specifically they said that is something that they're gonna crack up on, because that's gaming the system. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to continue to do what he does. Yeah, do you know what, Marty? They talked about that because they have because 90% people are just going crazy buying those accounts, and they're simply, or their servers are trying to catch up with how much money they're printing on their end, and that's real money. So there's a bit of delay going on in there. Mike, if you have an issue with your identification declined, reach out to their tech support and they'll help you. It's a clunky little deal, but just keep at it till it gets figured out. It's not. O Harmony, that's an O, not a zero. So O Harmony, that should work. Let me see if I can find you the support. Here you go. If you're having a bit of delay just getting into buying an account, just don't go to tech support and ask them questions, because they're over inundated with that. You're literally just, all you got to do is just wait a little bit, and it will go through. Here we go. So Marty, after an hour, you got your 3 evaluations. So it's just a matter of their server being a little bit inundated. Okay, so the O Harmony code, is it working? Make sure that you click on that link and also use the O Harmony code. And if it continues to be a problem, let me know. The code works? Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. So I think everybody needs to take a deep breath and just kind of read between the lines and understand that we have a system. We're trading a system. We're taking, I'll show you here. We're taking trades. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm about to get a payout on this account. Let me see here. Let's see if I can see. Okay. Actually, it goes further out. Let me get to the dates. So that's account 21 that I have. And I'm trying to make a point. Here we go. So for last year, I mean, I made, and that's account number 21. Right here. Okay, so why I'm showing this account is, here we go. Okay. So that account, I traded in it. It's a $150,000 account. I traded in it micro and I traded in it mini. And you know, taking small stops, taking small targets, and along the way, you're getting 900, 1,000 here. Along the way, I DCA'd in some areas. Okay, I DCA'd in some areas, and with micro, and I managed that risk with a mental stop. And at times also, I ended up getting into, prior to the news, small trades. One of them actually ended up getting me to 1,000. I mean to 2,000 right here, but there is a pattern going on here. Like even when I'm DCAing in a range, I'm doing it with. I have the capacity to go 17 contracts mini, which is 170 micros. I may get into a range and put on, 20 minis. I mean micros. 20 micros in a small range. So that is not even, out of 17 contracts that I could put in, I'm only doing like basically the equivalent of 2 minis. So I'm not leveraging to the hilt and going maximum and trying to see if I'm going to get to a payout. I'm just using the range to my advantage, and that's part of my trading system. Okay? So what happened to this account? I got paid on it. I got paid on it when I did it before, and I did it after that. I'm going to get paid on it again. And that's not the behavior they're having a problem with. Okay? So and the life of this account, I have, let's take a look. Sorry guys, I know we want to go back to just thinking about trading here for a minute, but this is important because a lot of people are asking a lot of questions here. Let's see here. Here we go. So this account is this account right here. This one. So 21, that's 21. And it has life 55 days worth of trading. So I don't have 5 trading days and I hit 20, 10 grand on 1 or 2 trades when I DCA'd in a big range and maxed out my contracts. That's not what was going on. So you keep that in perspective when you see that commentary. I think they're just looking for abusers who their whole shtick is maxing out a contract, their contracts, and going for a system where they keep blowing accounts to get to PAs, and they're looking for somebody that does not have a natural edge in trading. Okay, so that's all I gotta say about it. So we're gonna take a deep breather here and look. I mean, just all the way to the equity high, and then we're gonna get paid on that rotation as well. So now let's go back to trading. So we hit target number, what is that, 5 at 81. We broke through it. We put a captain set up short. And this market is getting faded back into the middle of the range. The channel is still intact on the upside. The target for this rotation is 609.75. Pullbacks are buyable. I mean, even at these levels and a captain setup, they are pushing. Yeah, and well, Eric, I mean, they look like they're pulling back here. Okay. I mean, the market's slowing down here a tad bit. Going into noon prediction. I mean, just fucking ruthless market to the upside. I mean, unless we break like 850, I mean 550 to 540, pullbacks are buyable. You have harmony zone number one, which is 559.75 by 49 and 34 by 24. Both are zones that supports the price action. If we break down to 509, then that would set the stage for a bit of a retracement. Without that happening, these pullbacks are viable. And you have targets at 809.75, which is very close. Then we have 650 and 700 as targets. The market favors the longs, but we're overextended here. The market tends to do is to take a one tone during the morning session and then counter trend it during lunch, resume it into the close. That's a behavior that you see happen in the market. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a deeper pullback just to shake some of the longs out and then try to resume it toward the end of the day. I mean, we've seen this happen so often anyway. I mean, that'll be interesting if they put a captain setup short right here at that 91 and a quarter. If they do that, then we should be expecting a flush toward the 80. Sold what, 602s? 602s? Oh, way up there. Good for you. Yeah, we're getting a captain setup. We should be flushing a little bit here into the 80s, low 80s. Matthew, they're challenging that 62 again. 602. Let's see if they hold it here. That would be a big deal, but this market is something. We have no worry in the world. Who said inflation? Huh? Yeah, they are. I mean, there's a distribution here, but these kind of distribution patterns, I mean, they tend to kind of run the stops and come back and retest. Ah, you bastards. Look at that. Now it's going to start going. They keep taking out the stops and they just come bringing it back in. There's a lot. That's a lot of distribution going on up here. I mean, we're very close to that big target of 610, 69. it comes, buddy. Here it comes. Here it comes. And isn't that just simply wrong? That's wrong. That was wrong, wrong, wrong. Here you go, Ethan. Here you go. At 80. Yeah, 80 would have got me there. Okay. Yeah, from 601. I mean, it depends on how many contracts you had, Ethan. Yeah, the 90, 91 halves are good ones. Oh, 15 minis. Yeah, I'll get you there. I mean, this is just watching like paint dry here. I mean, we're getting a move. They can retest the 600 one more time and see if they can hold on to it or not. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's it for me for today. I may come back later on the last hour and see if the market has any potential. But most likely, I'm done for the day. We'll see you guys tomorrow, Thursday. Have a good one.